We're looking at these valuations. Is it justified? Do EVs have that much of an upside, at least here in the near term, to justify the valuations of those companies?
So if we look at Tesla's valuation, I think it is overpriced. If we compare Tesla's PS valuation, it's about 16 to 18 times. It is much higher than its Chinese peers like NIO or XPeng. So I do not think the short-term share price can be justified very soon.
So, Tony, are you aware of another company called Arrival? It's another EV maker. They make EVs for a lot of commercial use. How come that company hasn't seen the same kind of gains that we've seen with Rivian when they have very similar business models?
Actually, I think not in terms of the company for specific, but for the whole industry, the EV industry is growing very, very fast. And the market size can grow as much as we can expect. So I think it can allow more than Tesla to get into this industry. So much more than 3 companies. I think that's one of the reasons behind it.
So you mentioned that you thought that Tesla was overpriced. How is Elon Musk and his stock selling and some of his tweeting, how has that impacted your view of the company and the stock?
Elon Musk, it has his own behavior, and his behavior does not have too much relationship with the operation of Tesla. But as for Tesla's fundamentals, I am pretty optimistic it can deliver over 50% figure in the CAGR in the next several years. But in terms of valuation, I think it is overpriced.
So when we look at those, we're going to call them the old big 3. I'm sure those companies would not appreciate being called the old big 3. But when we look at those companies, they are in the EV business. Do you see them having the potential to catch up, at least in the minds of investors? Obviously, these companies make many more vehicles than the new big 3. But do you see investors kind of buying into their narrative that they're going to be big-time EV makers, both for passenger vehicles and also commercial vehicles?
Yeah, I think they also have a lot of opportunities. But their difficulties lies in their balance between their traditional car sales and those new energy vehicle sales. And one more thing is that they also need to pay attention to the Chinese market, because as we can all see, China market has contributed a large portion of the global market. It's about 40 to 50%. If the big 3 can have their cars has a good sales exposure in the China market, I think their gap between Tesla will be smaller.